I have here with me Jessica Woods, and I would love for Jessica to introduce herself as well.
Thank you so much. Right, so introducing myself, I heard everything you said there and I resonated with it totally, so I love it. The reason I kind of feel that I'm here is to maybe share some insights, wisdom that will really kind of help people, as you say, at this time. It's an empowerment. I use the word empowerment. I love that, and transformation. They're my two probably favorite words. So that's why I'm here. If it flows and resonates with anyone, then marvelous.
Amazing. And the way Jessica and I met was that I did a session with her. Jessica will talk more about her sessions, but it was energy reading of sorts a while back, perhaps 2.5 years ago. And she gave me a timeline and I wrote it down. And she said, "This will happen in 2 years." And I'm like, I've met enough of these people and they're always wrong. And I went back and I re-listened to the session and I had taken some notes and I saw them and I was like, oh my God, she was right. I said, okay, I have to reconnect with her. And so I did another session just to reconnect and see where it goes. And then somehow this idea of ascension talks came about. And it was very clear that Jessica and I were meant to do this. We were meant to talk about ascension and the process and her experience with people because Jessica's worked with a lot of people. So, Jessica, in your experience, what do you find people struggle with the most when it comes to ascension? And of course, feel free to talk about what you think ascension is as well.
Really good question. I don't think there's anything per se that all the people that I connect with, all the people that I see, all the energies that I pick up on, the frequencies that I'm picking up on, is anything one specific thing, just say. But there are probably two elements of what is happening, I guess, from that. The main thing that I probably would like to say is purpose. Okay, so that most people that are looking for their purpose, and I don't think there's ever been more of a time when people aren't going to feel that calling, that awakening to find their purpose. So they may not understand why they're feeling drawn to a particular therapist or reader or energy healer, but there's something within them that is bringing them to that space in order to answer that unfulfilled question, whether it's conscious or not. And when somebody is recognizing that it's about their purpose, their passion, what they're here to do, then we search for in so many ways. We first of all probably do it as we're growing up in our friends, in our intimate relationships, within our family. We're looking where do we fit in? What's our purpose? And that carries on throughout our life, through our work situations. And many of us perhaps never find it. And that can be quite true. I mean, we've all heard the stories that people have been in particular relationships or jobs for many, many years, and then at the end of it, they come away unfulfilled. So I think that's within all of us. We're all passionate about finding what our purpose is. And one of the things that I see from people is, how do I go about finding that purpose? How do I really align with what I've come to do here in this reality? Because I think it's something deep within us. It's a sense or a knowing or a feeling that it's not the same as anyone else, even though a lot of the patterning of the way that our lives are lived, as I said, going to school, going to work, and these, so that's one of the really big things, is people come because they want to find their purpose, they want to understand it.
Purpose is, I feel like it's such a convoluted word. everybody uses it, but nobody really knows what it means. And in my experience so far, I was one of those people. What's my purpose? What's my purpose? What am I here to do? And it's a good question,
Mm.
but it's so important to understand that it's absolutely impossible to find our purpose, like truly connect with our purpose without figuring out who we are. Right. And in my view, I mean, I think
100%.
that's our ultimate purpose, is to figure out who we are and why we're here. Not to do something. And that's not what I mean. I don't mean like what action I need to take in the world, but why we're here, what brought us here. In my view, that's our ultimate purpose. And this is why, because it's so simple, I feel like people like to complicate things, and I'm one of them. Uh,
Mhm.
we want those very specific, detailed action steps. That's the world we live in. And I feel like that's the secondary nature of purpose, is the expression of purpose, right? So how do we express who we are is simply the expression. That's not the purpose. What are your thoughts on that?
I totally agree, because that purpose boils down to, who am I? That's the big thing. We don't know who we are in relation to our work. We're just programmed, I suppose we could say, or we are brought up, and we follow the traditions, the patterns, the usually of our family, and then we extend that out into our outer reality. So it is, and this is what people are searching for. You're absolutely spot on. It is, who am I? Who am I in relation to all these factors, situations, things that happen in this reality? And ultimately, I believe that all of us are searching for that. And the outer expression of not knowing what that is to get caught up in the consumerism or the latest fad or whatever it is. And we're all guilty of doing it on some level at some point in our life. And it's when we get to that point where we realize that that's not going to fulfill that desire, that innate passion or whatever it is that is within us. And that's when I mean, for me, that's when people will come to me, when they are resonating with the fact that they are more than that, all that stuff we've been talking about. And exactly, so they want to know who they are.